It's now easier than ever before to make not just finals of the Solo Victory Cash Cup, but to make your first earnings, thanks to the new changes Epic Games made to the Solo Victory Cash Cup. But before we get carried away thinking about how we can make earnings, we first need to make it to round 2 of the Solo Victory Cash Cup. Today, I'm going to be giving you my secret strategy that no other YouTuber, no one is going to tell you this strategy but me, and this is the best and easiest way to make round 2 of the Solo Victory Cash Cup. So you can ensure, come Cash Cup day, you have the easiest route to qualification. To kick it all off, before I get into the strategy to qualify, let's start off with the way the whole tournament works. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this because I think most of us already know how it works, but it's very simple. 1 point for a kill, 30 points for a win, the same as before. But the only changes that we've actually seen between last season's Solo Victory Cash Cup and this season is we now have 7 games rather than 10, and we have just 2 hours instead of 3, which we are going to use that time frame to our advantage. And I did this in the first cup of the season and found myself having a massive advantage and skyrocketing ahead of everyone else's points come after game 1. When it comes to the strategy for EU, 7,500 people make finals, which I think makes it the biggest finals we have ever seen, which makes it easier than ever before to make finals. And you're probably thinking, I play on NA Central though, what is it for me? Is it like 2,500? No, on NA as well, it is also 7,500 people to qualify. On the rest of the regions, like Middle East and Brazil, you'll find just 2,500 people qualify, meaning you'll need around 67 points on EU to make finals and 55 on NA, which means you can literally qualify to finals in one game. A 37 kill win on EU will get you qualification, or a 25 kill win on NA, making it the easiest tournament ever. But a more realistic number is literally just 2 wins. If you get 2 wins on NA, you instantly qualified. You've got 65 points and it's just 55 to qualify, making it a super easy finals to get to. Now we understand how easy it is to actually make finals, I'm now going to talk through that secret strategy that will get us the easiest finals qualification ever. Kicking it right off, before the tournament. Make sure before the tournament you are fully prepared to go in. You're going to be playing for exactly 2 hours straight, so ensure you're not eating meals just before the tournament. Try and leave it at least an hour to an hour and a half, preferably, before you're eating your meals at least. That way, come tournament, you will not find yourself crashing halfway through. This is also when you should be taking any caffeine that you may be consuming. That way you won't feel all clunky and shaky when it comes to the tournament. One thing I also recommend is drinking plenty of water before the tournament to make sure you're fully hydrated and can play at your best. Now, kicking it off, the tournament has just started up. What do we do? Well, actually, we don't do anything. We just prepare ourselves because we're not going to queue up till 30 minutes after. So we're going to be queuing up when there is exactly 1.5 hours left. And I know what you're thinking, what? This is crazy. On my other tournament videos, I was recommending people to queue up 15 minutes late. But for this tournament, because they have made it 2 hours for 7 games, I now recommend everyone to queue up 30 minutes late. You're probably just thinking, why on earth am I going to throw 30 minutes of my tournament away for no reason? Now, the reason why is there's a thing in Fortnite called Elo. I think everyone's aware that after a certain amount of time, if you're on lower points, all the better players go up towards the high Elo, where after about 30 minutes, most people have played out a full game, meaning all the good players are on about 30 to 60 points, around that region, but on average, most players are around about the 10 to 30 point mark. Why should we queue up 30 minutes late, you're thinking? Now, when you queue up 30 minutes late, you will have a super easy lobby. So, what I recommend people to do is queue up 30 minutes late and land a W key spot. This is what I did in my first game, and I found myself having the easiest lobbies possible. Especially this season, you don't need to get champs. I think you just have to get contender. You might not even have to get contender to be able to play these anymore. But it's super easy for anyone to be able to reach contender division, which means you will have the bottom of the barrel, awful Fortnite players, which probably don't even know how to build a wall. Meaning you can get yourself at least a minimum of 30 points before you even go into your second game. I mean, you'll catch up with everyone else who's already played all these games, and you'll also give yourself an amazing position for the rest of your games. And from here, for the other 6 games, just play for endgame, play for consistency. You could play out like 4 or 5 games, you've already played one, which leaves you with about 6 games, which means in this tournament, you don't really want to be dying off spawn. You can have a maximum of 1 off-spawn death, but really, you don't want any off-spawn deaths at all. Play for consistency, play for that end game, go for your top 3s, top 5s, go for those wins, because all it takes after that first game, if you get yourself like a 30-point game, the ideal situation would be a 10-kill win, because that literally gets you 20 points away, and you could do that from a solid end game. But once you get a solid first game, just play for end game. You will literally find the game to be so easy, and you'll literally get the easiest qualification of your life. I told some people to do this before the tournament, and they literally qualified after 2 games. So you need to ensure you start queuing up 30 minutes late, maybe WK a little bit, but you got to understand that the whole emphasis on this cup is to play for endgame. This is what Epic Games want you to do. They've made a super low qualification barrier and added 30 points for placement, so all you need really is 2 solid endgames and you've qualified. I mean, for NA as well, it's even easier. It's literally 55 points, which means if you win your first game with 10 kills, you start with 40 points, and all you need is 15 points in 6 games to qualify, which most people can do, and you'd have to throw pretty hard, especially if you're playing for endgame, which is why I also recommend everyone just grind solo scrims. If you're looking to qualify this season, your solo endgames need to be good. You don't even necessarily have to be a good fighter this season to be able to make finals at the Solo Victory Cash Cup. You just need to have your endgames to a certain level where it works for you. I recommend aiming to play at least 3 scrim games a day if you can. VOD review them all, see how much improvement you can get, and you will find massive improvements in your endgames. And literally, it's that simple. All you have to do is queue up 30 minutes late, play for endgame, and just have 2, maybe 3 solid games and you've qualified. It genuinely is that simple. It's no harder than that. I mean, to be honest, it doesn't even matter what your strategy is, as long as your strategy is to play for endgame. Try and find yourself a solid drop spot that works for you, that isn't going to get you killed over and over again, because if you have more than 1 off-spawn death, it's not impossible, it's just it makes it much harder for you with only that 7 game mark. Each off-spawn death just lowers your chances of qualifying, because when I go through, I found the biggest mistake for most people was their off-spawn death. So I found someone here, and this guy literally didn't even do much to qualify. He queued up, got a 7 kill 13th, a 3 kill second, and another 3 kill second, and he's qualified. It's literally that simple. He's had 2 really bad games here, or that one's not too bad, but he's had 3 games which weren't the best. Then he's literally mainly just had 2 good games here. This game was alright as well. And this guy placed 1050th, just like that. This guy qualified with ease, getting himself a total of 86 points. And really, it literally just came from these 2 games here, and he had an alright game there. And as I scroll down even further, find people which have had an even easier route. This guy here, a 7 kill 3rd place. He hasn't even won a game. The other guy didn't win a game either. He's literally just had a 7 kill 3rd place and a 2nd place 2 kills, and he's pretty much just qualified straight off that. I mean, obviously the 10th and 16th are alright, and they got him a fair few points, but these 2 games here are awful, and he's literally just done it off 2, maybe 3 games. And that's literally all you have to do to make finals this season. It is so easy, so simple. You don't have to overcomplicate things, and stop trying to get these massive high kill wins. You genuinely just don't need them. Stop going for 10, 20, 30 kill wins, because quite frankly, you just don't need them this season. 2 wins with no kills will literally just automatically get you a qualification on the NA region, and a 6-point game and 2 wins is qualification on EU. So my number 1 tip for people looking to make finals for the Solo Victory Cash Cup this season is to not WK. Stop WKing. You don't need to. It scuffs you up. Even if you win a lot of these mid-game fights, the chances are you're going to be super scuffed. So stop WKing, start playing for those placement points, and you'll find it it is much easier to qualify than you think. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. If you did enjoy, a like would be greatly appreciated, and feel free to drop a comment asking any questions or just saying thank you for the video, as I respond to all comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, you may also like the video that is on screen now.